I don't normally do two videos in a day. I try to do one and then maybe a song, but I had to get this out here today. This recent thing in Hawaii got me thinking, and I was going through some older videos trying to put together a compendium of all of the different things that we've covered with the Fitzgerald and the McCain, and something stood out to me. Now this goes all the way back to the 4th of July of last year. I did a video where I alleged that the Fitzgerald might have been in direct line between a North Korean launch site and Hawaii. Now, when we saw this quote unquote false missile alert in Hawaii, there are some strange coincidences. And I'm going to play this for you. Now, this is my channel all the way back on the 4th of July. I'm going to start here at the 52-second mark and cover what we're talking about. In case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, the North Koreans have launched a Icbm, their most successful test to date. Flew for 37 minutes, landed 930 kilometers out to sea. The trajectory was very, very high, 1,500 miles up. But down here, an expert on these things stated that a flatter trajectory might give the missile a range of approximately 4,160 miles. And that got me thinking. Okay, so in this next part of the video, I go through all of the different machinations of how the ABM missile mission is achieved, anti-ballistic missile mission of the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. I'm going to jump to 340 in the video that I made on the 4th of July to get to the point. 160 miles. Okay. Well, I did a distance calculator here from North Korea to Honolulu and came up with that. You know, they talked about Alaska, but strangely enough, look at this, folks. This X is where the Arleigh Burke was. Excuse me, the Fitzgerald was. Here's the launch platform that they launched from. Now look at this line. What do you think, folks? Straight line distance, right from the launch site, went directly over where the Fitzgerald was attacked. I think the North Koreans are lining up to hit Hawaii. That was the 4th of July of last year. And as if that wasn't enough, now you saw what I documented about how long the missile flew, 38 minutes. Here's what happened 13 January. A second message 38 minutes later described the first as a false alarm. So for just so ever coincidentally, 38 minutes, Hawaii thought it was under attack. Strangely enough, the exact same flight time of a missile launched by the North Koreans at the exact same estimated distance that experts said it would fly. You think that's a coincidence? I'm sorry, folks, but honest to God, I don't think this was a false alert at all. I think they intercepted a missile. They absolutely did, and you'd have to ask yourself the question, who did it? Well, I looked at Pearl Harbor. Now, yesterday we talked to Jennifer Hammonds. She was stationed on the USS Hopper, the USS O'Kane. These are DDGs that are stationed at Pearl Harbor. I went to Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and looked it up, and there's 9 DDGs there. But one of them is the John Paul Jones. And this article from last August, 8 days after the issue with the McCain, the Aegis BMD system aboard the USS John Paul Jones intercepted a missile. They did a flight test, and they have a boat there with a system aboard it designed exactly for this. And this is the most recent one. An SM-6 test. It completed. Just another strange coincidence in the investigations into the Fitzgerald McCain. that ever so coincidentally, the amount of time Hawaii was under an active missile alert is the exact same amount of time that a missile actually launched by North Korea is said to have flown and had the same distance characteristics as a flight from North Korea to Hawaii. And this is exactly what the channel predicted back in July. Now, thankfully, with the help of people that come to the channel and people like Jennifer Hammonds who have stood up and had some guts and have taken up the mantle for the sailors of the Fitzgerald and the McCain, we've also had now a third channel. And I didn't know this this morning when I did the video regarding Central America. I was unaware that we had been picked up by a very big channel. James Munder has actually included the Florida Maquis in his latest post, talking about the doomsday torpedo that can wipe out coastal cities. We briefly touched on the canyon in a video a couple months ago, but I'm just going to go ahead and play this from his channel real quick.
I got let known about the drive by watching this guy called Florida Maquis, Maquis, and as a matter of fact, this was 12 hours ago. This was this morning. I watched this video this morning. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Time of the collision. Okay, here's 1628, 1629. Now we have this slowed down, and of course I get lag when I do this. I don't know why. Okay, so here's 1630. As you can see here, 1630 and 12 seconds. No change in course. So this shoots out of the water for sure, this story about the captain attempting to avoid, or the collision. If the collision happened at 1628, as Savvy says, that captain never tried to avoid the crystal, not at all. Now, if we go forward to the time the Navy says it happened.
And by the way, these are updating at 5-second intervals. Remember that.
Plus 15 seconds. We do see this change in course, but it makes me believe that the Navy might be using this track to determine the time of collision, which would mean they have no electronic information of their own independently of this, which would mean the ship might have been fried, which means that we have a much bigger problem. Now, if this wasn't enough, watch this. Now, we have this position here, and we thought watching this, that all the jumps around was just some fault of the data being transmitted. It's not. All right, 1630 and 47 seconds. Now, this is 15 seconds post-collision according to the Navy. Now, I'm going to jump the video up here. Now, we remember this. 1633 and 47 seconds. 3 minutes later, that's when the jump occurs from here to here. Strangely enough, Class B SO shipborne mobile equipment not moving faster than 2 knots reports on the 3 minute. Class B CS shipborne mobile equipment moving faster than 2 knots also reports on the 3 minutes. Let me say this correctly, I'm sorry. Class B CS shipborne mobile equipment not moving faster than 2 knots. So not moving faster than 2 knots.
All right, just stay with me. I should have sped it up a little bit more, because at this point you're going like, what the hell is going on? So let me, he gets into this. Just let me go here. And you could go and watch the whole video, but let me just go here.
Now, here's where it gets really, really, really creepy. If you go all the way up here to this, now, You folks remember this strange, and I do apologize for the lag here. I don't know why this happens when I run this slow. Because when I run at normal time, it doesn't happen. Okay, we are at 17:44. This is 2:44 p.m.
Can anyone else hear his fan working overtime? Holy hell.
But I want you to see this. This is the most important part of the video, bar none. It sits here forever, aimed one direction. And I do have to slow down to a quarter. I apologize, this is taking forever for this jump, but it is critical that you see this. Okay, there's the jump. All of a sudden, now it's on its track before, right? I want to show you something. The AIS data is now updating every 10 seconds.
So, hold on.
It has changed from the...
It has changed. It has changed from it was updating every 5 seconds, and then it jumps, and it's as if they switched transponders. What the hell is this going on? This guy caught something, and I needed to put light on this.
5-second and 3-minute paradigm to 10-second updating. Folks, that only means one thing. They changed transponders. Because the only place you will find 10-second updating is up here with a dynamic Class A. At anchor or moored and moving faster than 3 knots. Not changing course or changing course, updates on the 10-second like we saw with the MCL Nick. Down here, search and rescue aircraft, update on the 10-second, and the AIS base station, updates on the 10-second. What does that tell us? That means if they didn't switch transponders, they switched from autonomous mode to assigned mode. Either way, the entire trip through here, they were fucking with the transponder. From the beginning, through the collision, all the way past the end. The ACX crystal was up to something. We have evidence for there being 2 different transponders or them switching modes. Why would they?
All right, why would they indeed? So I just wanted to shed light on that.
So, that's a video of a video. But that was James Munder giving the channel some light, and I much appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know what to say about it. I'm humbled. But it just goes to the fact that we have been fed a line of crap about what's going on with our sailors and with the ships in the 7th Fleet. Given the massive amount of activity going on last summer, 10 different missile launches, 3 over an ally, 2 that could have reached the United States, and 1 thermonuclear detonation, we had 19 dead sailors, 2 critically damaged warships, and now we have 6 that are supposed to be tried for homicide, and nobody's even bringing this up. Nobody's talking about this. I'm sorry, but... thank you, everyone, for the support of the channel. I really appreciate it. We're going to continue down this road. God bless you all. Like, share, subscribe.